All right, it's time to go over my top 10 wide receivers for week 7. We're going to jump right into the video. Going here at number 10, we're going DK Metcalf. Now, I know a lot of people are just a little disappointed at his production last week against the 49ers. 3 receptions, about 48 yards receiving. DK's better than that. Let's just be honest. I mean, he is the #1 wide receiver for this team. This is the team that Geno Smith says, look, I'm giving the ball to this beast of a man at the wide receiver position. He's going to do better this week. But this week, he does take on a Falcons defense that ranks 18th against opposing wide receivers. He's still the clear #1 wide receiver target for Geno Smith. This is not an opportunity where you sit there and say, okay, he had a bad game. Let's kind of reel off. Maybe it's kind of over with for DK Metcalf. No, the dude's dominant, right? This week, I think he gets right back on track and dominates for fantasy football. He is a lock for getting probably over 50 to 60 receiving yards this week with ease. I think you're going to target DK Metcalf, get him back on track, and prove everybody that he is still a top 10 wide receiver for fantasy football, and he's going to dominate for you yet again. This week, I think the Falcons are going to be able to keep up with the Seahawks just enough to keep the Seahawks throwing the football a lot. I think DK Metcalf gets plenty of opportunities to be the man. I don't think there's a cornerback on the opposite side that's really going to keep up with DK Metcalf's physicality. So I like myself some DK Metcalf easily at number 10 for moving right along here. At number 9, we're going wide receiver Jayden Reed here. Now, again, another guy we said who had a down week last week with Christian Watson coming back for his touchdown. Romeo Doubs getting 2 of his touchdowns. I think Jayden Reed is still clearly the #1 wide receiver option. He's still getting the targets that we all like. He just wasn't able to produce into fantasy production last week. This week, he's taking on a Texans defense that ranks 19th against opposing wide receivers. Should be the lead dog, right, in this shootout type of matchup, right? CJ Stroud's on the other side of the field going to be throwing the football. Jordan Love's going to be throwing the football. And I think Jayden Reed's one of his top dogs. He's the guy who's a playmaker, who can make a lot of things happen when he gets the football in his hands. Jayden Reed should have himself a nice game this week against the Texans. So get the guy in your lineup. I think you'd be happy that you did. So move right along here at number 8. We're going Malik Neighbors. Now, a lot of people are they're kind of speculating a little bit. It wasn't really the concussion that left Neighbors out from last week's game. It was because he went out and kind of partied a little bit when he wasn't supposed to, and maybe the team was just teaching him a lesson. At least that's what I'm hearing. I can't confirm nor deny those allegations, but I think this week he should be good to go, ready to play. Malik Neighbors this week taking on a Eagles defense that ranks 27th against opposing wide receivers. He's ready to attack a weakened Eagles secondary. They have been fighting some injuries all season long. This week, I think Malik Neighbors is going to be able to go with this shifty self, the way he can run these routes. Should be open quite a bit, give Daniel Jones a person to throw the football to early and often. I think they're going to need to score a lot of points to keep up with the Eagles. They're super motivated. Saquon Barkley's on the other side of the field, and he's going to want to run it down the throats of the Giants. So the only way to stop that is if the Giants put up a lot of points. I think Daniel Jones needs to go out there with Malik Neighbors and prove that they can be a team to be reckoned with this week and put up some points. I think Malik Neighbors is a big reason if they're able to do so. I think that's the guy who's going to have to get it going. And I think Daniel Jones can do that. I have him easily at my top 10 this week. Move right along here. At number 7, we're going Chris Godwin. This is a wide receiver that I'm starting to project over Mike Evans. I've been doing it for most of the season. They said that they were going to move Chris Godwin more into the slot receiver role, less of the outside role, and boy, has that worked wonders for Chris Godwin. He is week in and week out being a top fantasy producer for you. This week, they're taking on a Ravens defense that ranks dead last. Cockadoodle, 32nd against opposing wide receivers. He should go bananas this week, as long as this offensive line can give Baker Mayfield just enough time to throw the football. Chris Godwin's going to get some work, guys. He is going to absolutely blow up this week against the Ravens team. I don't think that they have any chance of slowing these guys down. I think Chris Godwin has an explosive game, easily in my top 5 wide receivers in any given week. Any given week, you can put Chris Godwin in the top 5, right? This week, we got him at number 7. There's a couple guys that I like ahead of him, but he has the top 5 talent ability, right? Chris Godwin is just that good. This week wouldn't surprise me if he ended up in the top 5. I think his opportunities are amazing this week. As long as they can keep Baker Mayfield upright, he's going to be able to deliver the football to Chris Godwin and have an explosive week for you in fantasy football. Get this guy into your lineup. Move right along here. At number 6, we're going Terry McLaurin. This is another guy that's starting to come along, right? With Jaden Daniels now starting to mature a little bit more, building that connection and that rapport together. You start seeing a lot of these deep bombs to Terry McLaurin. He can catch those, and he can bring some of those down. the way he's running these routes and getting open, and Jaden Daniels just finding this guy, I'm telling you, it's like a natural chemistry. I'm excited to see that happen. I'm glad that Devontae Adams didn't get traded to the Commanders, ended up going to the Jets, because I didn't want anything messing up Terry McLaurin's rapport he has right now with Jaden Daniels. This week, they take on a Panthers defense ranks 21st against opposing wide receivers. He's starting to build up more steam every single week. You see Terry McLaurin really starting to mature and develop. I'm telling you guys, I told y'all early on that Jaden Daniels was going to be the truth at quarterback. It was just going to take some time for him to get used to the NFL game speed. Now that you see him doing it, oh my goodness, this week, it could be a crazy week for Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin combination. They should go out there and set some fireworks going nuts and bananas. I'll be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs this week because I have them in my redraft league, and I hope you do too. It's going to be fireworks. I like myself some Terry McLaurin as number 6 this week. Moving right here along at number 5, we're going Amon-Ra St. Brown this week. It should be just like every other week, right? You don't know who's going to be the main guy. Is it going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown? Is it going to be Jameson Williams? Is it going to be Amon-Ra? Is it going to be Jameson Williams? We don't know. But this week, we're taking on a Vikings defense that ranks 30th against opposing wide receivers. Like I was saying earlier, it's either going to be St. Brown or Williams. One of them is going to have a good game. The defense overall is a really good defense. They're going to put a lot of pressure on Jared Goff, right? So to be able to deliver the football. That's why I'm saying I think this is going to be an Amon-Ra St. Brown game. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to throw the ball deep, but I know there's going to be a lot of dink and dunks, and that's where Amon-Ra really feasts. He should be fine. Easily a top 5 wide receiver for me. I like myself some Amon-Ra St. Brown. If you have and you're worried a little bit, don't be. Put him into your lineup as if you did. You're not going to bitch Amon-Ra St. Brown, but be happy that you have the guy. Phenomenal player this week. Put him in your lineup. It's going to be a good game. Get him in there. Coming here at number 4, guys, going Cooper Kupp. Should be back from injury. He started practicing this week as well. Cooper Kupp, phenomenal, right? They need the wide receiver to come back. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, both out for Matthew Stafford. Stafford's going to be excited and ecstatic to have Cooper Kupp back this week. He should go bananas. I'm telling you, he's going to be the only guy there that kind of been feasted for a wide receiver to be back here. So, but this week, they're taking on a Raiders defense that ranks 9th against opposing wide receivers. Should be back from injury this week. Like I was saying, it should be Matthew Stafford's main focal point here. There's no other wide receivers or tight ends or anything that's going to be taking any type of repetitions away from Cooper Kupp. I wouldn't be surprised if he has 15 receptions in this game. It's going to be absolute crazy. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to have Cooper Kupp in all of my lineups all throughout fantasy football world this week. I like myself from Cooper Kupp. It's a set it and forget it for me. Coming here at number 3, we're going Jamar Chase. This guy's a boomer bust type of guy. I've been booming a lot lately. He can catch a deep ball like there ain't no tomorrow. I mean, he's getting you at least like a 20-yard bomb every single week. I love this guy. This week, they're taking on a Browns defense ranks 10th against opposing wide receivers. He can explode any given week, right? And we just saw last week that A.J. Brown had over 100 yards receiving against the same defense. There's no reason why Jamar Chase can't do the same thing. I think Joe Burrow needs to get a little bit better, needs to start producing more higher end numbers because he's known as an elite quarterback. He's not putting up elite numbers, but as soon as he starts putting up elite numbers, Jamar Chase will follow suit. He will be a monster as well. I love myself some Jamar Chase here in week 7. We were along here at number 2. We're going A.J. Brown. This is a guy we saw come back from injury last week against that Browns defense, had over 100 yards receiving. He's going to have another good game this week. I think a lot of times the Giants defense is going to be honing in on Saquon Barkley. The last thing the Giants defense wants is for Saquon Barkley to go in there and completely fist them down their throats. So they're probably going to be focused on stopping Saquon Barkley. That's going to leave a lot of opportunity for A.J. Brown to get a lot of fantasy points for you this week. They are taking on that Giants defense. They rank 14th against opposing wide receivers. Like I said, he came back from injury in style, right? He was doing great last week. This week should have another solid performance against the Giants defense. Like I said, not really going to be focusing on stopping A.J. Brown. They're going to be focusing on stopping Saquon Barkley, and I think fantasy points are going to be there enough for A.J. Brown. Easily number 2 for me, and that leaves at number 1. We're going Justin Jefferson, the guy who no one thought could get it done with Sam Darnold. And I was trying to tell you guys, look, when Kirk Cousins went down last year, Jefferson was still doing good without Kirk Cousins. Now coming in Sam Darnold, who's a decent quarterback, just not given an opportunity yet, is force feeding the ball to Justin Jefferson. He's having a phenomenal season. This week, going against the Lions defense, ranks 29th against opposing wide receivers. He's showing the world that he can get it done even with Darnold at quarterback. Justin Jefferson is a phenomenal wide receiver. He is a good, dominant, top-end flight wide receiver Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They just got to throw the football in his vicinity. He's going to come down with the football. He's producing crazy amount of numbers. I think this week he goes absolutely bonkers yet again. But that's my top 10 wide receivers for week 7, guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're pumping out videos each and every week, right? We're going to help you set the best lineup possible so that way you can set yourself up to ultimately win a championship. Guys, make sure you hit a comment down below. Is there any wide receiver that I didn't put in my top 10 that you believe should be in the top 10? Leave it in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.